What does it look like to live from your heart? Living from the heart means living in alignment with your true self, your authentic desires, and your deepest values. It means making choices and taking actions that are in harmony with your inner wisdom and intuition. When you live from the heart, you are guided by love, compassion, and empathy. You prioritize connection, relationships, and the well-being of yourself and others. Living from the heart is about being present in the moment, embracing vulnerability, and embracing the full range of human emotions. Now, let's explore the role of the mind in our experience. The mind is a powerful tool that allows us to think, reason, analyze, and make sense of the world around us. It is responsible for processing information, solving problems, and making decisions. However, the mind can also be a source of suffering when it becomes overactive, overwhelmed, or disconnected from the heart. In the spiritual community, there has been a tendency to demonize the mind, viewing it as the root cause of all suffering. While it is true that the mind can generate negative thoughts, worries, and ego stories, it is important to recognize that this is not the fault of the mind itself. Rather, it is the result of our conditioning, past experiences, and societal influences. Avoiding the mind altogether is not the solution. The mind has its own unique role to play in our lives. It helps us navigate the practical aspects of daily living, such as planning, organizing, and problem-solving. It allows us to engage in logical thinking and make rational decisions. Without the mind, we would struggle to function in the world. However, it is essential to find a balance between the mind and the heart. When the mind is in service to the heart, it becomes a valuable ally on our spiritual journey. The mind can help us discern between truth and illusion, analyze our thoughts and beliefs, and gain clarity about our desires and intentions. Living from the heart does not mean disregarding the mind or suppressing its thoughts and ideas. It is about cultivating a conscious relationship between the mind and the heart. It involves bringing awareness to the thoughts and stories generated by the mind and questioning their validity. It means using the mind as a tool to support our heart-centered living, rather than allowing it to control or dominate our experience. In conclusion, living from the heart involves embracing both the mind and the heart. It means recognizing the mind's role as a valuable tool while also understanding its limitations. By cultivating a conscious relationship between the mind and the heart, we can find a harmonious balance that allows us to live authentically and in alignment with our deepest truth. How our mind works in our experience. Our mind is a powerful tool that allows us to navigate and understand the human experience. As a soul inhabiting a physical body, our mind serves as a bridge between our consciousness and the physical world. It is through the mind that we are able to decode and interpret the energetic soup of reality into something that we can comprehend and interact with. At the core of our mind is our brain, a complex organ composed of various components that work together to process information and make sense of our surroundings. Through the brain, we are able to engage in logical thinking, calculation, and problem-solving, enabling us to perform tasks such as walking, running, communicating, building, and creating. However, the mind is not just a product of our brain. It is also intimately connected to our heart and spirit. Our heart, for instance, plays a crucial role in the mind-body-spirit relationship. Scientific research has shown that the heart actually sends signals to the brain, communicating important information and influencing our thoughts and emotions. This connection between the heart and brain highlights the intricate interplay between our mind, body, and spirit. When we receive information from our higher self, it is often through the heart that this communication takes place. The mind then processes this information and learns how to incorporate it into our human experience. This could be guidance on how to navigate challenges, insights into our purpose, or wisdom that helps us grow and evolve. In essence, our mind is a tool that allows us to integrate our spiritual nature into our physical existence. It helps us make sense of the world around us and enables us to engage in the human experience. Without the mind, we would be unable to fully participate in this physical reality. It is important to recognize the role of the mind in our experience and to cultivate a healthy relationship with it. This involves nurturing our mental well-being, practicing mindfulness, and developing self-awareness. By doing so, we can harness the power of our mind to enhance our understanding, expand our consciousness, and create a more fulfilling human experience. In conclusion, our mind is a vital component of our human experience. It serves as a bridge between our consciousness and the physical world, allowing us to decode and navigate reality. The mind is intricately connected to our heart and spirit, and together, they form a harmonious relationship that enables us to fully engage in the human experience. By understanding and nurturing our mind, we can enhance our understanding, growth, and overall well-being. Where we've become unbalanced. In our journey through life, we have become unbalanced in certain aspects of our minds. While the mind is a powerful tool that can help us have the experiences we need, it is also influenced by the ego, which has led us astray in some ways. The ego can be divided into two layers, the upper ego and the lower ego. The upper ego recognizes that we are separate from others and are playing out our individual identities for the purpose of evolution. It understands the importance of personal growth and development. On the other hand, the lower ego is characterized by intense separation, strong attachment to identity, fear, and incessant storytelling. It has led us to feel disconnected from our true selves and from others, preventing us from living harmoniously with the earth and all its beings. While the lower ego has served as a tool to show us the consequences of disconnection, our challenge now is to overcome its power and rediscover our true selves. Why is this happening now? It is because we have already learned what we needed to from living with the ego in the driver's seat. However, for a long time, we have resisted the change that is being presented to us. Now is the time to move forward and embrace a new way of being. This is why there is a collective rise in interest in topics such as meditation, spirituality, and the ego. People are recognizing the need for a collective evolution. To shift from the ego being in control to living from our hearts and using the ego and mind as tools, we must cultivate self-awareness. We need to pay attention to our thoughts and simply observe them without getting caught up in them. By observing our thoughts, we realize that they are separate from us and do not define who we truly are. With time, we can learn to quiet the mind by not giving excessive attention or importance to our thoughts. Practices like meditation can also help in this process. It is important to remember that this journey towards quieting the mind and finding our true selves is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice that requires time and patience, just like building any other muscle. Here are a few tips to help you start quieting the mind. Practice meditation. Find a quiet space and dedicate some time each day to sit in stillness and observe your thoughts. Allow them to come and go without judgment or attachment. Engage in mindfulness. Bring your attention to the present moment and fully immerse yourself in whatever you are doing. Pay attention to the sensations, sounds, and sights around you, bringing your mind back whenever it wanders. Cultivate self-compassion. Be kind and gentle with yourself as you navigate this journey. Recognize that it takes time and effort to quiet the mind, and be patient with yourself along the way. Limit distractions. Create a conducive environment for quieting the mind by reducing external distractions such as noise, screens, and excessive stimulation. Seek support. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on a similar journey. Share experiences, insights, and techniques that have helped you in quieting the mind. Remember, this is a lifelong practice, and each step you take towards quieting the mind brings you closer to rediscovering your true self and living a more balanced and fulfilling life. How to live from the heart and what it looks like. Living from the heart is a beautiful and transformative way of being that allows us to connect with our true essence and live a more authentic and fulfilling life. When we start to identify less with the ego and the incessant chatter of the mind, we open ourselves up to experiencing life on a deeper level. Instead of being caught up in our thoughts and emotions, we begin to feel the subtle energy and wisdom that resides within our hearts. Living from the heart means paying attention to the present moment and being fully present in each experience. It's about tuning into the energy and nature of what exists in the here and now. This can be as simple as feeling the warmth of the sun on our skin, listening to the sound of birds chirping, or noticing the beauty of a flower. It's about being fully present and engaged with the world around us, rather than being lost in our thoughts and worries. Living from the heart doesn't mean that we are constantly in a state of zen or that we meditate all day long. It's about bringing heart-driven consciousness into our everyday lives. It means making choices and taking action from a place of love, compassion, and authenticity, rather than being driven by fear, ego, or societal expectations. When we live from the heart, we start to follow our intuition and listen to our gut feelings. We trust the wisdom that resides within us and make decisions based on what feels right for us, rather than what others think we should do. This doesn't mean that we don't think or plan, but rather that we integrate our thoughts with the guidance of our hearts. Living from the heart also means living in alignment with our values and passions. It's about doing things that bring us joy and fulfillment, rather than simply going through the motions or doing things out of obligation. When we live from the heart, we are more likely to pursue our dreams and live a life that is true to ourselves. Living from the heart is not always easy. It requires us to let go of attachments, expectations, and the need for control. It requires us to be vulnerable and open ourselves up to the possibility of being hurt or disappointed. But the rewards are immense. When we live from the heart, we experience a deep sense of peace, joy, and connection. We feel more alive and connected to ourselves, others, and the world around us. What do I feel I really wish to be doing right now? It's about doing things because you feel it's what you need to do, not because you need to be keeping up with the Jones or following trends everyone else is jumping on. There's no emotion behind it, it's simply neutral and it flows lightly. As you live from the heart, you still use your mind, your body, your logic, your creativity, etc. Your actions are simply guided by something entirely different, and your ego becomes a quiet program that sits off in the background. Your monkey mind doesn't have the same power it does because you are dialed in to something different. Do you need to meditate to get into the heart all the time? At first, yes, but eventually no. It becomes completely natural and part of your everyday way of being. It becomes automatic. The process of moving from a state of being in ego or mind almost all the time to living from the heart starts with getting the stuff out of the way. You have to ask the important questions. What does it mean to be a human on this planet? Who am I? Why do I do what I do? What do I feel I really wish to be doing right now? Why am I concerned with my appearance or with what someone said about me? When we all begin to live from the heart, we no longer need to operate using theories or philosophies of how to be. Instead, we live naturally through oneness consciousness, which is what's already emerging from our hearts. We care for one another, we create systems that work for everyone, we treat each other as equal because we do not judge differences, and we collectively create a world where we can all truly thrive and utilize the gifts we each came here with. Living from the heart is where we are headed, but we must do the work to embrace it and move it along. It won't happen by simply waiting. It's a process, let it unfold. In our quest for personal growth and self-improvement, it is crucial to practice self-awareness and avoid being too hard on ourselves. However, we must also be mindful of the limits we often impose on ourselves to justify certain behaviors. We often find ourselves resorting to the phrase "we're only human," as if it excuses all our mistakes and shortcomings. Yet, this mindset can be a slippery slope that hinders our progress and prevents us from transcending old patterns that no longer serve us. It is essential to recognize that we are not solely defined by our human nature. We are souls with infinite potential, currently experiencing the human condition as part of our journey of evolution and consciousness. By accepting this truth, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities and growth that goes beyond the confines of our humanity. When we use the phrase "we're only human," we inadvertently shift the blame onto the human experience itself, rather than taking responsibility for our actions and choices. It becomes a convenient way to avoid looking inward and understanding the deeper reasons behind our experiences. By doing so, we limit our ability to truly transform and shift our reality. Instead of using this phrase as a crutch, let us embrace the power and potential within us. Let us recognize that while we may be human, we are also capable of extraordinary feats and immense growth. It is through self-awareness and self-reflection that we can uncover our true potential and break free from the limitations we have imposed upon ourselves. When we take responsibility for our actions and choices, we empower ourselves to make positive changes in our lives. We no longer rely on the excuse of being only human, but rather strive to become the best version of ourselves. We understand that mistakes and shortcomings are not failures, but opportunities for growth and learning. By cultivating self-awareness, we gain a deeper understanding of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We become attuned to the patterns and habits that no longer serve us, and we have the power to change them. We can consciously choose to let go of limiting beliefs and embrace new perspectives that align with our true potential. Instead, let us embrace the various tools and aspects of our human experience. Each of them serves a purpose and contributes to our growth. By demonizing any one of them, we inhibit our ability to thrive and hinder our true self from shining through. One of the most valuable tools we possess is our mind. It is through our thoughts, logic, planning, and creation that we decode and shape our reality. Rather than dismissing these cognitive abilities, let us recognize their importance and harness them for our benefit. By nurturing a healthy relationship with our mind, we can tap into its immense power and use it as a catalyst for personal growth and transformation. Our mind is a remarkable instrument that has the potential to unlock limitless possibilities. It is the gateway to our dreams and aspirations, the driving force behind our actions, and the source of our creativity. When we fully embrace the power of our mind, we can overcome obstacles, achieve greatness, and manifest our deepest desires. However, it is important to remember that our mind is not infallible. It can be clouded by doubt, fear, and negative thoughts. It is during these moments that we must exercise our resilience and tap into our inner strength. We must remind ourselves that our thoughts do not define us, but rather, it is how we choose to respond to them that shapes our reality. In order to harness the full potential of our mind, we must cultivate a positive mindset. This involves practicing gratitude, affirmations, and visualization. By focusing on the positive aspects of our lives and envisioning our desired outcomes, we can rewire our brain and attract abundance into our lives. Additionally, our mind is not meant to be isolated. It thrives in connection and collaboration with others. By engaging in meaningful conversations, sharing ideas, and seeking feedback, we can broaden our understanding and expand our possibilities. Together, we can achieve far more than we ever could on our own. As we embark on our journey of self-discovery and transformation, let us release the need to constantly justify our shortcomings. Instead, let us embrace the process with an open heart and mind. Understand that growth often comes with challenges and discomfort, but it is through these experiences that we evolve and expand our consciousness. In this process, it is crucial to cultivate self-compassion and love. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a close friend. Remember that you are on a unique path of growth, and comparing yourself to others only hinders your progress. Embrace your individuality and honor the pace at which your journey unfolds. Trust in the process and have faith in your ability to transform. Embrace the unknown and the uncertainties that come with it, for it is in these moments that true growth occurs. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, for it is through vulnerability that we connect with our authentic selves and open ourselves up to new possibilities. Remember, it's not just about being human, it's about being a soul with infinite potential. Embrace your human experience as a stepping stone towards self-realization and enlightenment. Shift your perspective and take responsibility for your growth. By doing so, you will unleash your true potential and let your inner light shine brightly for the world to see.